Okay, sorry about that. Here's glass coverage. Glass coverage is money my insurance company pays for my windshield if it is cracked. Okay? Because a lot of times you're driving along, there's no accident, but a rock will hit your windshield, and then the whole windshield has to be repaired. Okay, and then medical insurance. Money, my insurance company pays for my doctor bills in a car accident. Has to be a car accident, though. Money my insurance company pays for my doctor bills in a car accident. Okay, now, why is it law? By the way, what is auto insurance? Okay, and we already said what auto insurance was. It protects me from losing money in case I get in an accident. So we don't need to write that again. But you need to put, you have to have it by law. It's against the law not to have car insurance. Now, why is it law? It's because if I cause an accident and can't afford to fix the other person's car, I will have my insurance company to help me pay for it. And that's why it's required, because sometimes people can't afford. If I cause an accident and the other person's car is really badly damaged, I might not be able to afford to pay to fix their car, but their car needs to be fixed because it's not their fault. It was my fault, and I have the insurance company to help me pay for it. Okay, now you're going to skip this page, and you're going to skip to this right here, because you're going to see these numbers here. It says, what do the following numbers mean on automobile insurance? We have 30, 60, and 15. So just jot that off to the side, 30, 60, and 15. Here's what 30 means. $30 means there's a coverage limit. That means they'll pay this limit, but anything past that they won't pay. There's a coverage limit up to $30,000 for one other person's doctor bills. That means if an accident's my fault, there's a coverage limit up to $30,000 for the one other person in the other car's doctor bills. Okay, so again, coverage limit up to $30,000 for one other person's doctor bills. Now 60 means there's a coverage limit up to $60,000 for 2 or more people's doctor bills. That's because if I'm in an accident and I cause an accident, there might be like 2 or 3 people in the other car, so they're going to get hurt, and that's going to be more money because it's more than one person. So that's why it's $60,000 if for 2 or more people in the other car, $30,000 for just one person. Now 15, that's a coverage limit up to $15,000 for the other person's car. Okay? Coverage limit up to $15,000 for the other person's car. Okay? So let's run through this again. Don't cross that out. Okay? We don't need to do 2 of them. So you got 45, you've got 50, and you got 10. Okay? So what does 45 mean? Same as it did here. There's a coverage limit up to $45,000 for one other person's doctor bills. Okay, now the 50 means coverage limit up to $50,000 for the other person's, oh sorry, not other persons, for 2 or more people's doctor bills. Bills is money. Bills is what it costs. Okay? And then the 10 means there's a coverage limit up to $10,000 for the other person's car. Okay. Okay, now we're going to do some problems, a couple math problems. And note taking is pretty much taken care of. Now I want to look at this. Okay, there's 2 types of car insurance. There's liability and there's full coverage. Okay. You hit a 2012 Ford Mustang. The driver has $4,600 in medical bills. And the car is $30,000 is total. Okay. Now, here's what you want to do here to find what your own out-of-pocket cost is, your copay. Okay. Your out-of-pocket costs, again, remember from the term sheet, that's the copayment. And that's the same here. Okay, so there was only one person in the other car. One person in the other car. That means I don't need to worry about the 30. Okay? I don't need to worry about that. So here's what I want to write. I want to write medical and car. So their medical was $4,600. Their car was $30,000. That's how much damage has been done. That's how much needs to be paid. So there's a coverage limit of $15,000 for the medical, okay? Because again, this is always the medical, and that's for the car. So the coverage limit of $15,000. Now, if I subtract those, okay, 4,600 minus 15,000, and I get a negative, that means it's covered, okay? I don't need to pay anything for that. Now, there's a coverage limit of $5,000 for the car. So I need to subtract 30,000 minus 5,000, and that's 25. So that one was not negative, so it's not covered. There's $25,000. So you will have to pay $25,000 out of your own pocket, co-payment, okay? That's a lot of money. Now, that's like the bare minimum insurance you're required by law. Now, this next one, you're going to get better insurance, okay? You'll have to pay a higher premium for it, but it's better insurance because here's what happens here. Again, we can ignore that because it's just one person in the other car. So again, medical and the car itself, the property. So again, write the medical, 4,600, and the property, 30,000. So they'll pay up to $50,000 for the medical. There's a coverage limit. And if I subtract 4,600 minus 50,000, I get a negative. That means it's covered. That's good to get a negative, okay? Because that means you're covered. Now, they'll pay up to $50,000 for the car because, again, this is medical and this is for the car. So they'll pay up to $50,000 for the car. So if I take 30,000 minus 50,000, I got a negative, so that means it's covered. So out of your own pocket, you pay $0, okay? So I want this insurance, okay? So this is better because if I get in an accident, then out of my own pocket, I don't have to pay anything. The insurance pays it all, okay? This would not be good right here. Okay, now there's another page I wanted to go over. It's right here. What is uninsured vehicle coverage? Here's what you're going to write. I get in an accident, but it is not my fault. The other driver has no insurance. That's illegal, okay? He has no insurance. But I need to get my car fixed and my doctor bills paid because this isn't my fault, okay? So my insurance isn't going to pay for it, okay? Well, they're going to if I get uninsured vehicle coverage, okay? So uninsured vehicle coverage is when my insurance pays for my doctor bills and my insurance pays for my doctor bills and for my car to be fixed because the other driver had no insurance. Now let me show you why this is important. Okay, again, my insurance pays for my doctor bills and for my car to be fixed because the other driver had no insurance. This wasn't my fault, but he didn't have the insurance that he was supposed to have to pay for my car to be fixed and to pay for my medical bills. Now, here's why it's so important to have this into your coverage, to have uninsured vehicle coverage. Let's say I own the Mustang that got hit, so it's not my fault, okay? My medical bills are $4,600 and my car has $30,000 damage. Now, the guy who hit me has no insurance. What happens? Now, if I don't have uninsured vehicle coverage, even though it wasn't my fault, I have to pay all of this. So we have to add these together. So that's $34,600. That's kind of a bummer. Okay, now if I get the coverage, okay, if I have the coverage, I don't have to pay anything. Insurance pays for all of it. Now my premium, what I pay for the insurance is going to be higher, but that's better. That's worth the risk if this accident happens. Okay, so I would want this one, okay? You want uninsured vehicle coverage in your policy. Okay, that's really all I have to say on that. That was a lot of information. Okay, I hope it's been informative, and we will now apply some math into this.